Welcome to Las Películas Sábados Gigantes at the Cinemarijuana Theatre.
Yeah.
All right, us.
For another, all over your face with another edition of hot movie goodness. This week we are here to talk about, well, first we're a society that meets and greets to watch films and then discuss them. And that's what we're here to do today. And we're in the middle of our bromance theme, chicks before dicks, bros before hoes. And we had, we possibly the ultimate bros before hoes pick this week. We watched from 1975, A Boy and His Dog.
Yeah.
That was brought to us by Raoul.
Based on the Harlan Ellison series of literature that he published.
Yes, and I'm certain we can
copyright Harlan Ellison.
If we're fortunate, maybe during the Bulls Deep segment, we can get Zeb to dig into the archives of memory and tell us a tale of Harlan Ellison, because Zeb is the only guy at this table that's actually met Harlan Ellison.
Oh, hey, he's quite cantankerous,
which is pretty. He's
or so
you
think.
Yeah, right.
Well,
he's
not cantankerous.
Ooh, what a tease! What a tease! So yeah, just going to ease it in a little bit. All right, so before we get started here, let's go ahead and introduce ourselves clockwise, starting with me. I'm Ed.
I'm Zeb.
I'm A Boy and His John.
I'm Kenzie.
Oh, wait,
I'm Chris.
Wait, no, say it again. Do it again.
I'm Raoul.
There we go.
Ooh, the second one was way better anyway.
Yeah, it was. Way more
Folks at home,
gravitas.
you missed
Good
nothing.
resonance.
Way more
Oh.
gravitas that time.
Yeah.
And
I'm Chris.
oh, excellent. Thank you. Okay, now we fucked that up. So before we get into the movie, though, I want to give a special announcement here. And I've been saving this one for a couple of weeks because we've had sort of lower attendance, but I figure with all these people here tonight, this is probably the time to do it, because rather than keep the spoils for myself, my conscience got the better of me. So I don't remember, you may remember our Star Wars The Force Awakens podcast. And I believe we talked about how our screening was maligned by technical difficulties, how the movie started 20 minutes late, they didn't turn the lights down.
And there was no trailers.
All that stuff, and nobody came in to say anything about it, anything like that, right?
Yeah.
Well, I went to and we saw this film at the Regal Mira Mesa here isn't it Regal?
Edwards.
Is it Edwards? It is Edwards. Okay, but they're owned by Regal. Anyways, the
Same
one
group.
in Mira Mesa. We went there to see it, and that's where this stuff happened. So afterwards,
Mira Mesa, California.
Yes. Oh, yes. Thank you. Well, I assumed everybody
Not
listened
Mira
to
Mesa,
everything.
Oh, of course. Well,
We talked about San Diego last
It's
week.
such a famous city.
It's next
Yeah.
to Hopetown, West Virginia.
So I hit up, Regal, and was like, yo, because we were like, man, should we complain about this and like see it again? So anyway, I called them up to complain, and I was like, this is what happened. So the manager, not only of that theater, not only did he hit me up and leave me like a long message on voicemail, like apologizing and stuff, because I wasn't able to get to the phone at the time, but also he ended up. He asked how many of us saw it, and I said that there was, we were responsible for 3 tickets, but there was 9 of us in our group. So he actually mailed me 9 passes.
Does this include the extra ticket I bought?
Yes.
Oh, right.
Because that was one of the 9.
Yeah.
That was one of the 9, and these are
That is right.
and these are good for IMAX too.
Yeah. He sent the good ones.
And,
All right.
and he also enclosed a handwritten note, like apologizing and all that stuff. That guy is pure fucking class.
How about a round of applause for Mira Mesa?
Yeah. So I
Edwards,
just wanted to say in a public forum to give credit
Fucking it up.
Where
to-
dreams come
to-
true.
To the Edwards Cinema, for making it right. So now we can all see Star Wars again, even though most of us already have. But I haven't seen it again yet. So
Well, now we can
I
see
can
it with
see it.
trailers. We could see it with
We
Right.
should
great
all
lighting.
go and
Right.
see it up at the Irvine Spectrum at the real IMAX.
that'd be great.
We could road trip it
I'm
up
down.
there.
I'm down. Okay, so anyway, so we just wanted to say thank you to the Mira Mesa and to their manager
Pure class.
for doing that. So I've got the pass. I'll give them out to everybody tonight to replace for their tickets. So now on to the film.
Yeah.
Let's talk about A Boy and His Dog. Before we get into the meat of things here, let's go to Kenzie for a synopsis on this
She's
film.
ready.
Kenzie, tell us what happens in this movie.
Okay. A Boy and His Dog is about a boy and his dog
Wah, wah.
Oh, spoiler.
in a post-apocalyptic world. And they're like on the hunt for food and pussy all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she don't mean cats.
Yeah.
She means
Exactly.
vaginas.
And then there's semen harvesting and some other scary stuff. And that's pretty much it.
All right.
Yeah.
That
There you go.
happens.
That's
it.
pretty much it.
It's like you've seen the movie now, even if
Yeah.
you haven't.
You can probably
Yeah.
skip it.
Uh,
No, just kidding. It's great.
So some of the vital statistics here on A Boy and His Dog. The film was released in 1975, directed by L.Q. Jones.
Who you may remember as the cowboy in Casino.
Yeah, well, actually, that's something I do want to talk about. Actually, L.Q. Jones is a film veteran, particularly of westerns.
Sounds like a rapper. I'm L.Q. Jones.
It was written by L.Q. Jones, who wrote the screenplay, and it's based on Harlan Ellison's novella. Harlan Ellison, the great sci-fi writer. It stars a very baby-faced Don Johnson, Jason Robards, Susan Benton,
So sweet and young.
and as the dog, we have Tim McIntyre as the voice of Blood the dog, and Tiger as
From the Brady Bunch?
as the dog. I don't know. I didn't look. You can look that up if you want. I didn't
Yeah, let me
admit.
see if it's the same. Same
It may
tiger.
be. It may be. But the Tiger is the name of the dog that played the dog of Blood.
It's a very cute dog.
Yeah, he's an adorable dog. And the film was shot in Coyote Dry Lake in Yermo, California.
Yermo.
Yeah,
Yermo.
Yermo. On
That's
the way
what's
to
up.
Vegas.
And
Stop by and eat at Peggy Sue's 1950s diner.
We
Yeah.
totally did.
Yeah, we did.
And it was
Yermo's
also
the place to be.
I guess so. And it was also shot in Arroyo Verde Park in Ventura, California. So
It is not
not
the
the
same
tiger.
dog,
It
the
would've been
same
cool if
tiger.
it was.
It is, however, the same dog from an episode. He played Doggy in an episode of Van Nuys Boulevard from 1979.
Oh, hi,
Tiger does-
doggy.
Hi, doggy. Yeah.
Short lives, those dogs.
Okay, well,
Van Nuys Boulevard. Get the complete series on DVD from Shout Factory.
did they really put it out?
No,
Oh, I was
no,
just
that'd be
gonna
cool
say.
if they did. I don't even remember that
That'd
show.
be- sounds like the kind of thing Shout Factory would do. All right, so I guess let's get into 3 minutes, 3 words then, yeah? So we can begin to dissect this film. So, oh, Jesus, my mic went flaccid on me.
You want me to rub it?
Yes, please.
Here it
Just,
goes.
just keep tugging on it down here, please.
Okay, all right.
Needs a
Very
mic.
good.
All right, so we'll start with Raul today because it was his selection for this theme. So for 3 minutes, 3 words, Raul, tell us why you picked it and then also what you think of it.
Going with the did it start now?
Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
So going with the theme, my first pick was Tucker and Dale, but I kind of thought everyone saw it for some reason, so I wanted to go kind of weird with it. And then somebody had mentioned you could do like K9 or Turner and Hooch, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, I know the perfect Rose before Hose film."
Well, I'd like to say thanks for not picking K9 or Turner and Hooch.
Yeah.
And
Maybe
also,
next time.
not for picking Tucker and Dale for Z, because we watched that one already. It's
Right.
the-
Well, yeah.
There's that.
So it's a favorite film of mine. I think it's one of the first post-apocalyptic films too, because I think it predates
Yeah, it's definitely
Mad
got to be up
Max
there.
and everything.
Yeah, Mad Max is 79.
Yeah. So and there's a lot to like, and I love the world of the film. Like it almost, I've always been disappointed there's never been a sequel because I love the boy and his dog and their bond, and I love that you get a taste of what their existence is like, as nihilistic and sad as it is.
Which it is.
Yeah.
2 great words to describe it.
Quite
I was
desperate.
saying I could almost see them making a TV show out of it
Oh, yeah.
because you could do an episodic series following him and his dog and all the stuff that like happens to him.
And I kind of wonder if back then they called it post-apocalyptic or if they called it some kind of like, because it almost feels like a Western without the Western setting.
Sure.
Because of all the
Well,
gunplay and the
and
savages. Or,
That may be
Yeah.
perhaps L.Q. Jones, who, is so steeped in Westerns.
He's L.Q.
Perhaps
Jones.
That's his touch, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? All right, well, so anything else to say about it, or do you just want to give us your 3 words?
That's the gist of it. Probably. You know I'm bad at these things, man.
Yeah, that's all right. You got 3 words?
Dope ass flick.
Righteous. Okay, let's take it to let's hand the mic to Chris. And Chris, take it to the stage.
I fucking love this movie. I first saw this movie in that trilogy
we went up to the Arrow. Geek Magazine put on because they were releasing Fallout, or one of the Fallout games.
Yeah, it was a time when
and Mark Altman and Geek Magazine put out. They did a triple feature of this film along with Wizards by Ralph Bakshi and possibly the best film of the three, Damnation Alley.
Yeah, fucking great.
Mega Weapon.
But yeah, I love this movie. I love everything about this movie. I think, in fact, I mean, yeah, it's great. I'm getting all choked up over it. A boy and his dog. I did write some stuff down here, so let's. Here we go. Ultimate negotiator. She pulls leverage and he eats her. I guess I like that about his character.
Sure.
We need more speakers in parks, I think. That was pretty dope. I think they should play music.
Actually would be cool.
Give recommendation, healthy living, you know.
Constant positive affirmations being fed to you. I think tax dollars, public funds should definitely go.
Yeah, I need recipes.
Dude, exactly. When was the last time you were at the park and got a recipe?
I would have appreciated it.
I would.
No,
yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, how do people know otherwise? Anyway, and I think how accurately can dogs be trained to smell vagina?
Pretty accurately.
I
detect a female.
No, from what I understand, like, you know, the cops have dogs that can smell like
black people,
like micro amounts of like narcotics.
But
so
also, like,
imagine.
that's why they say, like, you know, if like women are like on their monthlies, they shouldn't go to the woods because bears can smell it.
That's my next question. Can they sense ovulation?
I think they can. Yeah,
the dogs.
They can sense.
Maybe.
Cash,
I mean, I thought it was just more of a psychic.
Haven't you
sonar.
seen them?
Because he picks up other life
smelling
forms.
dogs.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they can smell cancer. They can sure as hell smell, you know, vagina.
Well, but perhaps it's pheromones that he's smelling and telling the difference.
Dogs are really like your best friend when it comes to
wait.
like,
So did you guys
Yeah.
take it as
Smells like
it being a
butane to
sense of
dogs.
smell that's enabling him to find women?
I
That's
I
it,
assume
right?
I always thought it was
that.
telepathic.
I had always read it as he's like got a telepathic bond with the kid, and then you hear that
Oh.
sonar noise all the
I
time.
thought he was
So
just using his dog powers.
I thought that was just
I
to
thought it was
indicate
just
when he was
sniffing.
I've
Because
always
dogs
been,
have
you know,
such
he was,
powerful.
You could totally be
He
right.
gets like a nearby read,
And that's
of the
how he's able
area,
to communicate
knows
with Don
people
Johnson.
are coming.
Oh,
Yeah, but
That's
he's
totally
not.
true.
He doesn't tell. He doesn't read the girl's thoughts at all.
But
Aquila,
he explained
she
that
doesn't-
Blood and
can
him,
understand,
Blood and
yeah.
Vic have a bond.
They do,
They say that.
and that's what I'm saying. So perhaps the dog isn't fully telepathic.
Right.
Well, it's
It's
funny,
just
too.
the two of them have some kind of rapport.
Remember in the
Vincent,
underground-
like Vincent and Kate McRae
Right,
in the Black
in
Hole,
Black Hole.
having a.
Remember in the underground too, but they interrogate that dog.
Yeah.
And they ask the dog like what he said to him, as if psychic dogs is a thing in the future. Like if
So-
there's
and-
more than just.
And there is that crew of guys that also have their own dog.
Right. So maybe like it's as some byproduct of some kind of mutation of the nuclear
That it
fallout.
bonds with some
Dogs
people.
are getting like there's psychic dogs, and you can get a bond with it, and you know Blood and him have a bond, but there are other dogs out there that can
Right.
communicate with people.
Well, okay, I don't know, but this is one of the movies with a perfect ending.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
One few movies. Okay, and then fuck trying to leave room for a sequel. Yeah, I think movies leave too much room for sequels.
I can see that.
I hate that
mean,
trend. I think it's bullshit. Give me a complete story.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me an ending for sure.
I don't want to, I don't want to see the beginning of the next movie. I want to.
Well, in a way, I guess you could look at it as like unless you have some really cool grand design, it's kind of like borrowing what Peter to pay back Paul or whatever. like you're taking time in the away from the story you're telling in the film to set up a story you plan to tell later on.
Well, in this
Plus-
situation, I feel like though it was more like that kind of riding off into the sunset type of thing. Like there's some storylines where the best ending for those characters is them just continuing on doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so it's not so much that it ended like that with the idea that you were going to see their further adventures. Like no matter how many movies they would make about those characters, it would always end with them just carrying on.
Right. If there's a bunch
You
of great
know.
adventures, can't you just put that?
Well,
in
no, but
the first-
that's what they did.
Yeah,
I'm saying that I don't think that it's necessarily they were ending it for a sequel.
Yeah. Well.
If
Anyway.
that's what you were saying with this.
Oh,
one.
with this movie, I think they were definitely not ending it.
Oh,
for a
okay.
sequel.
That's what I thought you meant.
Yeah,
They were
I
setting
don't
that
think
up.
that
I
was
think it
me.
pretty much sums up existence of the whole every
Yeah, for
character
sure.
in the movie.
all right, well, give us your 3 words then.
perfect ending.
Yes.
You got one more.
A perfect.
No,
perfect
no,
ending.
no, no. Perfect ending.
Oh, got it. Perfect ending. Excellent.
I don't know.
That's-
Either one.
that's very-
Either one
very-
will do.
Very astute. Okay. All right, my turn. So I wrote a couple of notes down during the film. Is blood fixed? I thought it was interesting. I thought it was a funny sort of
Yeah,
thing that the dog didn't give a shit about getting laid, and it's all the human could think about.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit. Right.
And the dog obviously had some level of contempt for how sort of, base Don Johnson's character sort of is. And I had to wonder if the dog was actually fixed.
That would explain it. I
at
mean,
some
really.
point. I mean, I don't know when the apocalypse happened. I don't know. So
Because I could see it being a byproduct of just his super smarts that he would be just not into it.
above his biology,
Right, but I could also see that totally making sense. If he was fixed, he would just have no interest
Sure.
in that at all.
Doggo location, awesome feature of sound design. So there we go. Yeah, I thought it was like him like echolocating shit, like when it's like dee 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 dee.
Yeah.
Like he's like, oh, like sniffing females, even though you don't actually hear him sniffing. I just assumed.
You saw his nose going up.
Well,
in
he's
the
always,
air.
I'm sure, sniffing.
He's a
but-
dog.
Okay, or would it be a
I could've
fucking
swore that
dead
was a
horse
reference,
now?
so who cares? Yeah.
And then what does this shit say? The moment we decide. Oh, that's right. I just want to draw attention to, obviously this is a spoiler zone here. The moment at the end of the film where the decision is made in silence that blood is going to eat this girl is just beautifully, amazingly done. You don't need a word. It's funny because we see these two and we learn of their bond because of this conversation, this ongoing conversation they're having. They're almost like the original odd couple of the dystopian future. But then, like, to
The
me,
dog would
that's
totally be Felix.
that's a total that's a as if you didn't know that they were close already. They share this moment of like nonverbal communication where they're instantly on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought that was fucking rad. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna talk about some of the stuff with the film. I think it's great. Especially Raul and I were talking about it last night. I think it appeals to the teenage boy in everybody. It's such sort of a masculine thing, and with the topic kind of today with on feminism and all this kind of stuff, like and this concept of like men feeling entitled to sex and stuff like that. I think that adolescent male feelings of rejection are rarely in this world handled properly in terms of when people are dealing with them. Like guys aren't supposed to have them in this kind of stuff. But this movie in a way kind of addresses like on a deeper level like being burned by a female, and I think that's kind of something that most dudes learn about in adolescence. And so I think there's something about the way the film reinforces the friendship of the two of them over the woman. It's like it's almost like a male fantasy of being able to be liberated from one's own sexuality. Almost,
Yeah,
kind
totally.
of.
I totally know what you're talking about.
You right?
Yeah.
So anyway, are you making fun of me?
Yes.
And it's a real liberation of
Roasted.
Whatever. All right. My 3 words. Fuck you, Kenzie. Zeb, your turn. Tell us about this movie.
Raul, you magnificent bastard! What a great pick. I'm a huge Harlan Ellison mark, but I don't remember reading this story mainly because a lot of his work is out of print for reasons we'll probably get into later. This is probably one of the most original post-apocalyptic stories I've ever seen on film. I would put this up there with the Mad Max films as well. Because one thing I really like about post-apocalyptic cinema, and I forgot where I read this from, is that post-apocalyptic films are about where we are now, and utopian films like Tomorrowland is where we wish to be. but I always prefer post-apocalyptic films because they're more badass, and for me, they're more realistic than a future of flying cars and
Certainly more believable.
Yeah.
given the
Yeah.
current climate today.
The way
you know,
things are
like
going.
we are one button away from nuclear fallout.
That's
here.
it.
Yep.
So I often think about that, and this film just provides another insight of what the world could possibly be. I enjoyed the underground sequences because once they got underground, it was like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This place is even more fucked up than above. Give me the above ground. I don't want to be in a place where I have to wear white face and
Vanilla face.
Yeah,
be
yeah.
stuck in 1930s Mayberry.
But they had pie.
But what kind of pie?
You good pie, apple pie.
What if it was
I-
nice?
was
I
pretty
would
American.
rather eat a bloody vagina.
Oh, you would.
than
I
what
assume.
they were eating.
When was the
serving
last time
down
somebody
there, so-
extracted your semen, though?
with a machine. With,
With a machine.
It'll be like chalk by the end. It's not worth it.
Going in the gopher hole.
Yeah.
Pinch
I
my
wish I could
dingus.
get a
Turn this
machine.
thing off. I'm dry.
It'd be like powdered milk by the end. Just add water,
Sounds pretty good,
dust.
actually.
And also that robot Steve. Holy
Yeah,
shit!
yeah,
that's
that
scary
was
as
frightening.
fuck.
Holy God!
Yeah.
That's scary.
Forget
as
the
fuck.
Terminator.
Yeah. Because
Although-
that smile is so unsettling.
Although Harlan Ellison was credited for the Terminator movies too.
Oh,
which
yeah?
we'll get into later. I'm
Oh, I
pretty
wonder
sure.
if maybe a young Jim Cameron was like, tracked him down and at his
Uh,
front
It's a
door.
pretty rad story.
Yeah, it's but go see it if you haven't. Great performances by Jason Robards and Don Johnson.
Oh yeah.
The dog, the voice acting on the dog was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sound design, great. The screamers. One thing I loved about this film is how it made your imagination run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't see the screamers. All you know that they're green, they glow, and if they touch you, you're dead.
Yeah.
What were the screamers? And that's what I really like about film is we've been spoon-fed so many times that there's little left to the imagination. And what this film does, it just leaves a little bit to the imagination.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
world building.
Yeah, and it's like, whoa, what, like, because I'm already imagining what the screamers are doing,
Yeah.
what that dude with the cage of people, he
Yeah.
overtook the town.
Yeah.
How did he overtake the town?
It draws
what happened
you
to
in,
blood?
man. It's like the same thing we were talking about with Star Wars, with the bounty hunters and all that shit. Like, oh my god, like the
they
world
probably had
feels
some
so real.
Badass backstories.
Yeah, exactly.
So my 3 words are go see now.
Yeah.
All right, excellent, John.
Well, like you guys, I mean, I think, the first time we saw this movie? It was almost like at Comic-Con or something.
It was I think we rented it from when Videotown was
Videotown.
Movie Club.
Okay, yeah, wow.
Back, yeah.
But this is the kind of movie that once you see it, like, you're never quite the same person afterwards. I think it's like, the next day, like, you're still thinking about it, and it's like, these are the kind of movies that was like why cinema sort of exists, because it's like, man, like, if you want like a post-apocalyptic movie, this is your fucking shit right here. And it's very nihilistic, which obviously you would assume the apocalypse would be. But it's also a lot of fun, though. There's a lot of humor to it, which is great. Yeah, just like Zeb was saying, like the whole, the world they kind of craft is really interesting. I mean, like when they go to the town to watch the movie, and like the popcorn thing, and
Bartering like canned goods,
right,
for
canned
popcorn.
goods. Having to drop your guns
And
off.
all they've,
like
all
if,
they've
like
got
it was
is
pirate
some
times or Old
filthy old
West.
stag reel.
Yeah, like exactly. They probably dug up somewhere, found us. Like I love the animated show Thundar the Barbarian. It was a Saturday morning cartoon show, late 70s, early 80s, and it was set in the future after like this big cataclysmic event had destroyed the Earth, and like it was obviously for kids, so it was a lot tamer, but there was a lot of similar things where you've got these little like vestiges of the earlier civilization that are still floating around that people exploit in one way or another.
And weird mutants and stuff.
Yeah, and all kinds of, right, exactly. Like, yeah, and like weird civilizations. But, yeah, it's just really cool. I mean, Don Johnson does a great job. The dog does a great job, which, I mean, it's almost like a child actor. I think an animal can really make or break a film when you've got something like that in this movie. Like, if the dog was a shitty dog, it wouldn't have worked.
Oh yeah.
Well, they would have shot at got a new dog.
Yeah,
probably,
yeah, but yeah, so it's great. If you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth checking out. I mean, like, yeah, I've owned the DVD for a long time.
Essential.
Yeah.
If you like post-apocalyptic.
Oh, for sure. Like, yeah, if you're a
dystopia
fan of
stuff.
anything like Mad Max or any of those things, you should not only have seen this, but you should probably own it. I mean, you could.
And Damnation Alley.
That Blu-ray
Yeah,
transfer
Damnation
was
Alley was great.
what company put that Blu-ray out?
Screen Factory.
Okay, it
Or
looked
Shout
really
Factory.
it looked really nice.
And I mean, Harlan Ellison is really
Shout
is a
Factory, yeah.
fascinating character. I've never read any of his stuff, but he used to have a segment on what was he was on Sci-Fi Channel
when it first started.
Yeah, he had
Harlan Ellison's watching.
Yeah, and it was cool. He had this little thing, and he was almost like a sci-fi version of
Andy Rooney.
Yes, from
Yoda?
60 Minutes, right? Where he was like this kind of cantankerous old coot who would get up on his soapbox for like 10, 15 minutes or whatever. But that
I
was
love
really
his rant on
interesting.
Star Wars. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy, and yeah, it's a fun movie. So yeah, it's great. I love it.
3 words.
I'm thinking dogs before hoes.
Doggos
right.
before hoes.
Before hoes. That's a
For those of you
Pokemon.
that Pokemon, yeah. All right, Kenzie, let's take it to you
Okay.
to close us out today on this film, or at least this portion of it.
Okay. Well, first of all, I definitely don't like it as much as everyone else.
Big
but-
surprise.
Yeah. I think it's a cool story idea, though, so I kind of want to read the book, but
It's only a novella.
a novella.
I mean, it's
It's
short.
short.
It's very short.
It's a
Oh,
baby book
good.
junior, as they call it.
That's right.
The literary world addresses it.
The official title is Baby Book Junior.
Well, that's okay. But yeah, I don't know. I liked Mad Max better.
Wait, you mean
Okay.
Fury Road, or do you mean actually Mad Max?
No, Mad Max.
Okay,
like
good.
Beyond Thunderdome, the Road
Road
Warrior.
Warrior.
No,
Beyond
nobody
Thunderdome.
likes
Yeah.
Beyond Thunder.
No, I think she means the Road Warrior specifically.
I do mean that specifically.
Yeah, I think she
Okay.
means specifically Road
Virginia, hey.
which is
I-
Mad Max 2.
Well, yeah,
Virginia.
yeah, because
Hey.
I think there's there's more parallels you can draw between this film and the Road Warrior than between this film and Mad Max.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But that's it, huh?
I think a remake would be really good.
Like you'd like it more if they made it like today.
Yeah.
I
think
could
it's
actually.
due. I think
yeah,
it's due for
and I'm
one.
almost surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, like
Actually,
the fact that we've
awesome.
seen so many remakes. I mean, and yeah, this
Let's us do
definitely I
it.
could see them.
Can
them doing.
Toothless Richard remake it?
Remake it? Hey, oh my goodness, we're gonna have to
A
acquire the
sequel.
rights somehow.
Well, we'll make a sequel. An
yeah,
official sequel.
yeah, we should.
Was
Yeah.
Don Johnson in the Bone Zone?
No.
Not at
Really?
all.
He was
No.
16.
Even if he got showered up and fresh
Holy
pair of clothes.
shit.
Maybe.
Stop the
Wouldn't you want
presses.
him raping you in a post-apocalyptic
Yeah,
world?
Okay.
you had to be raped.
When he was in the bathtub getting
Yeah.
scrubbed by the big robot, not even like them.
No.
What about the robot?
No.
Was it, yeah, robot in the bone.
What
Zone?
about Big Steve the robot? Was
Yeah.
he in the Bone Zone?
No.
Jason
about-
Robards?
What about the dog?
No.
What about the
Oh,
crazy
no.
guy with all the slaves and the canned goods?
Fellini?
No.
What
Yeah.
about Fellini?
What about the canned goods?
Was the robot at least at the meat suite?
No.
Was he in the lobby?
He's stuck in the elevator.
Park in the car.
What if Don Johnson just had so much scopolamine and he just blew it like right in your face and then just fed you a bunch of ecstasy?
Are you?
Then
are
she'd
you
be
talking
ready-
about the hot Cosby?
Dude, then she'd be
Yes.
ready to party on a boat.
Oh.
Because it's a motion sickness thing. Okay, all right, Kenzie. Well, give us your 3 words then on this film. If you've no other time, if you've nothing else for us to talk over you,
Yeah.
what has to say what we talk over? 3 words.
I don't have 3 words.
You got to pre-think of 3 words. You got to put some thought into that.
Come on.
I guess-
Like I do
Like-
every week.
I'm
Right.
sure you
Someone remake it.
They-
do. Okay.
That way I can tell if I like it or not.
Perfect.
There you go.
Perfect.
Well,
With
you
Channing
know-
Tatum.
It just wasn't modern
Yeah.
enough for me to like it. If I see one that is new, maybe I'll know.
Maybe they
Yeah.
could. Yeah, maybe they could
Yeah.
put. Who's Zac Efron or something?
Oh, can
Zach
Toothless Richard?
Galifianakis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, there you go. With,
He can do
but
the
he can
voice of the
shave.
dog.
Yeah.
What about
So he
with
looks more
Kylo
boring.
Ren?
Adam Driver.
Yeah.
There you go.
He could be the
Awesome.
boy.
Yeah, and he can be
And
all
Daisy
depressive.
Ridley could
You could
be
get Buck the dog from Married with
the
Children.
one that they-
No, I'm
That
just
guy
kidding,
can
he's
be
dead.
cute, even though he's goofy looking too.
Buck the dog.
Adam Driver.
Okay, I believe it.
Just so you know.
Okay, well, before we move on to Bowls Deep, we have not really a new segment, but a new segment here, Dank Nugs.
Dank Nugs.
Because how
Nugs.
can one
Dank
get Bowls
Nugs.
Deep without Dank Nugs, right? So in the Dank Nugs I want to drop upon us today, I have written down here. So L.Q. Jones, writer-director of this film.
L.Q. Jones.
You may have seen him most recently, or you would remember him the most from Django Unchained.
He was in Django Unchained?
Yes,
Who
he's
was
the guy
he?
that goes, "You want to come into Bill Shop's town and show your ass," and then he gets shot.
Oh, he's that
The
guy.
sheriff.
The one-eyed
He's the
sheriff.
first
That they-
bounty they
that
bring
they
in,
bounty
right?
hunt. Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
L.Q.
Really?
Jones?
That,
Yeah, that's
apparently
L.Q.
so.
Jones, yes.
That's L.Q. Jones.
Mind blown.
Right. Well, because he's been in a shitload of westerns.
Cool.
He was also in. Among other things, The Wild Bunch, Walker, Texas Ranger, and he was in one of my favorite Sam Peckinpah films, The Ballad of Cable Hogue.
Nice.
That is
Does he
amazing.
directed other stuff? Written other
He's
stuff?
his directorial credits. He had like 3 or 5, I think.
Wow, interesting.
Same thing with the right. Most of his credits are as an actor. But that's he's and he's been in a ton of. He was in Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, also a great Sam Peckinpah film. Tons of westerns. That's why I'm pretty sure that's why Tarantino was like, I got to have this guy in my fucking movie.
Of course, I'm sure the big fan.
Authentic.
And then he's got Tom Wopat, which is like fucking the coolest. Also, too, interestingly enough, as we've talked about a little bit, a sequel was planned,
My heart.
but blood died. The dog died,
just
and
get
they
a new
and they-
dog.
Actually, Dan Snug for you. That's actually Raul. Traveled back in time 10 years from now and killed the dog so they wouldn't make a
Whoa.
sequel.
My God, no, he's the one that wants the sequel.
Oh, they didn't want a
No,
sequel.
Chris doesn't.
No,
want
I
the
don't
I
sequel.
want everything.
Oh,
I
he
want
wants the
toys.
sequel.
I want
Well, actually,
cereal.
I don't even care if they make a sequel as long as they don't
He
make a
was
sequel.
not
The
in
beginning of the
Django
sequel
Unchained.
in the end.
Are
of the
you
first
sure he
movie.
was?
That's all
He
I
was.
know.
According to IMDb, he was not in Django Unchained. His last film was A Prairie Home Companion.
No, I looked on IMDb
That's-
and said he was in Django, and
Maybe
he's
you're
Bill
looking up-
Sharp.
IMDb off.
Okay, hang on now. Now, okay, dang
Well,
it, John. Okay,
Yeah. Oh, hey.
okay. Well, we'll come back to this then
We'll
while
come
John
back to
does
that
some.
shit.
So okay, let's see. Also, Fallout, the game Fallout, cites this film as an influence.
I love
Kinda
that.
As
has
a
to.
major influence.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I think isn't Bethesda
Yeah.
is the software
That's
developer
rad.
that, and they're the ones that
Oh.
that were sponsoring the triple feature that we went to at the Arrow and saw this at the last time we
Yeah.
saw it together.
That's awesome.
With Damnation Alley with Mark Altman of the Starship SmackDown
No,
panel, which is really cool.
He weren't in Django.
Then who was Sheriff Bill Sharp?
I will find out.
Because I followed to that from the fucking Boy and His Dog.
He's been in a bunch. I mean, obviously he's been in a bunch of stuff. Even he's like familiar looking.
Don
but-
Johnson was in Django, though.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Oh,
right. He was.
Hey, funny.
Yeah.
That's weird. How about
Oh,
that?
crazy.
Totally forgot.
John Donson himself.
And
Don Johnson.
Tim McIntyre did the voice of Blood, but they
Also
did
sung the theme.
they did consider James Cagney for that.
Of Cagney and Lacey.
Of Cagney and Lacey, which was a
Cagney.
popular
Boo
popular
Cagney.
TV show.
Oh, sniff out some pussy.
Sir?
Oh no, you're right. Fucking A. I could have swore it showed Django right here. Well, man, I was full of shit on that. Well, let's get it right. Tell me who
Those
was
nugs weren't
Sheriff
dank.
Bill Sharp.
It's coming up. Sorry.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right, all right.
Tell me.
So,
Who was?
Break in with like
Sheriff
like
Bill.
Thank you. I thought because especially when I looked at the picture, he looks like him too. And also, I just want to mention for us, this was our second.
Don Stroud. I broke in. Don Stroud was Sheriff Bill Sharp.
Okay.
Don Stroud, also known for, he was the Amityville Horror, the Buddy Holly story, License to Kill.
Okay.
There you go.
All
There
right.
you have
Son
it.
of the vaudeville great Clarence Stroud.
Okay.
But
all
enough
right.
about Django.
Yes.
connection.
Enough about that. This was the second time we've seen Jason Robards in the last 3 films we've talked about, because he was in All the President's Men as well.
That's right, Robards.
And we gushed about him then too. So.
He might have to be an inductee to the upcoming Hall of Fame.
He may be. He may be when that comes along. Yes. All right. Well, so now let's get balls deep here. So let's see. Where shall we start? Let's start at the end. Was it the right choice? How would you have handled it?
Yes.
Right choice.
Kenzie, you want to tell us it was right for the dog to eat the chick?
Yes.
Tell us why.
Because dogs last forever and humans will only hurt you.
You.
That's
The
pretty
opposite
heavy, man.
sex will only hurt you.
Okay, but
and your dog won't.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just
You don't have
wanted
to train a chick.
No, I'm
Yeah,
just
but
kidding.
find them
I don't
wherever
really
you
feel
go.
that way. But
Well-
she already betrayed him once, so don't
So she wasn't
fool
trustworthy.
me. Fool me once.
and she only went with him, too, as a last resort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she did that for
That's-
herself. Not
that's
even
true.
she didn't save him for
Yeah,
him.
That's
so.
true. She was kind of between a rock and a hard place.
Also,
and,
the psychic dog will lead you to more girls. That girl's not going to lead him to more
Yeah.
psychic dogs.
That's right.
She's gonna get in the way too of,
Ruin is what she's going to
of
leave.
his raping.
I kind of wonder how common cannibalism is then out there.
Yeah.
Well, from what I've read, there is nowhere in the history of mankind has there ever been a civilization of people that were cannibals as their primary diet.
Ew.
Nobody has ever used cannibalism as a means of sustenance, except for in the case of like the Donner Party and shit.
Right.
Or in
Cannibalism has been used ritualistically, or wherever you have like that kind of
Famine and stuff like
desperation.
that, yeah.
Or when it's a
But-
Spadoikel day.
But yes, and I guess there's a brand new Blu-ray of that coming out too.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, yeah. So I guess it's typically like ritualistic. The idea is like the little kid in Planet Terran has that line, I'll eat your brains and gain your knowledge. Like that's actually the idea. Like they would eat the heart to gain like the courage or the strength.
Yeah,
They'd
they
eat the
think
brain
they
to gain the
gain
knowledge.
the power.
Right. You basically it was symbolic in battle of you like
Yeah.
consuming your enemy. So.
But not to say that people haven't eaten people.
Well,
And not to say it
but
doesn't
not
work.
I mean,
like
Albert
the-
Fish or whatever, and
Right,
it was
right.
Ed Gein, whoever the
But
serial
yeah,
killers
but there
were
was
they
never
ate.
there's never been like cannibals like as a people, like that kind of cliche of some Amazonian cannibal tribe that just like lives off of like like hunters,
Yeah.
dudes in pith
The
helmets.
point is, if you murder
happen.
somebody, eat them because you're already going to jail.
well, and you gain their knowledge.
Yeah, and you're going to gain their
Yeah.
knowledge. So it increases your chances of getting yourself out.
That's right.
Does anybody want to argue that he shouldn't have eaten the chick?
Clearly not.
I mean, Quilla.
That
You
was
know,
his
what's-
best friend.
Yeah.
What's funny
Yeah.
is like for a split second, I thought about considering the other option, but like, okay, there was no love between them. You know what I'm saying? She said she loved him, but she was just trying to save her ass.
Yeah.
And when she came up to him, it's like, oh, like first off, it's like I brought you down here to do my bidding.
Yeah, here's somebody. I
And
can
then it's
use.
like, oh, like please help, and then
I
like, fuck
tricked
you.
you down here.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
do
I
my
mean, there's
bidding,
no
too.
if anything better comes along, she's gonna drop him in a second. Whereas him and Blood like got that shit working together. You
Yeah.
know, like there's not
Well, Blood was hungry.
like let's say hypothetically it was like his real girlfriend. They spent years together with her, something like that. Then I can see arguing for it, but like I can't see anybody in that situation thinking he made the wrong choice.
Well, there you have it.
Yeah,
It's official.
right. So if that happens to you out there, make sure you kill the girl and feed him to your dog.
Okay, let's.
And Don Johnson should have had some too because he would have gained her knowledge.
yeah.
He probably wasn't interested.
For your
though.
health.
His junk was still probably too sore to eat.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Well, I guess let's tackle the proverbial elephant in the room. Is this film misogynist? If I recall from my readings on this film back in the day, that was the largest criticism that people would assail this film with, was that it was a misogynistic story that it's like anti-woman. Now, admittedly, the characters in the film that we follow, certainly don't have what I would consider a healthy attitude, at least in a current contemporary context, towards women. But that being said, is the film like misogynist? Anybody want to, Kenzie? Did you be like, dude, this is some anti-woman shit?
No, because I think if that were really life, I think it's accurate. But I feel like if it were reversed with a bunch of women and very few men to go around, I think women would be like kind of treating men the same way because they don't want to die off.
So you're saying that people would become a commodity in times of desperation, regardless of who was on
Whichever
top.
sex it is.
Anytime there's imbalance.
I know
Right.
in this movie there's kind of like both, but I mean like as far as like the raping of the girls, like I think that's pretty accurate.
Right, to what would actually happen.
Well, yeah, because you have a bunch of dudes who
Well, and
get
didn't Don Johnson get jumped by some girls who then started trying to jump his bones?
Well,
so.
when he got wasn't that when he got down into the down underverse?
There was wasn't some of those like the more wild people. Remember when they sent people after him? And like those girls jumped. They were wearing like fur, but then they started getting on with him.
Maybe that was like a ruse. They were trying to capture him.
I don't think of a different movie.
I think that's a episode of Star Trek.
Yeah.
No, that's
I don't-
every episode of Star
Oh.
Trek, but that's not what I'm
I
thinking
don't
of.
remember, yeah.
I thought I'll have to check it again. I thought there was a part where there was like, anyways.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, so yeah. I mean, is everyone in agreement then that this film is not?
Oh well, I
'Cause,
just
I
think,
can see why you would think that maybe.
well, okay, like you know how like women have only had the vote for like 100 and something years,
Right.
if even 100 years.
Right.
Like women kind of didn't have like rights, like really for like a long time, and it's back when society was kind of like
More.
rough.
Yeah.
So if we went back to that, I think it is sort of realistic to think that women would be sort of drop back down, you know, because it's all.
Well,
gonna,
I guess
if you live in a society where basically it's might makes right,
that's what
and
I'm
it's
saying.
all
yeah.
physicality, and it's like you're gonna have few situations where it's almost gonna be like prison. Like women would be better off attaching themselves to a strong guy. Because otherwise,
so
it's
like
somebody to be, you know,
the
come
idea,
after them anyway.
The idea of consent then is like like a civilized society is like a necessary component for like consent to kind of.
I think on some level, yeah, because
be the order of
obviously,
the day.
even in a civilized society, rape is still a problem and an issue.
Yeah.
And I think society broke down where like, okay, the only way you're going to eat is to steal it from somebody.
Right.
The only way you're going to live is to kill the person who's killing you. And if you're horny. Plus, also, too, in the society they live in, like with the movies and stuff, I mean, there's very few. What else are you kind of living for?
Yeah.
I mean, what other pleasure does Don Johnson get, in theory, other than occasionally getting laid?
I guess, yeah.
Well, in
well,
the movies.
yeah.
But then you got to dig up cans of peaches.
Yeah.
You don't got to pay the chicks with
Jeez.
peaches.
He should. Where's that place that they go down to in that President's song about the peaches? I don't like that band. Anyways, all right. So okay, well, so there you have it. It's official. Nope. Okay, now let's next.
Is it misogynistic?
Nope. Nope. All right, let's talk about animal performances now. Tiger's performance in this film as Blood the dog is one of the greats, I think, in terms of the animal acting I've seen. I don't know if you guys agree or not, but I just kind of wanted to go around the table and see if anybody had
I think it's okay.
a really quality animal performance they wanted to toss out and give honorable mention to, or if they wanted to say something about a particular.
I mean, Rin Tin
nuance
Tin is the real deal.
of Tiger's performance. I think wasn't Rin Tin Tin in the silence. Oh, okay, all right. I've never
Rin
actually
Tin Tin
seen.
Saves Hollywood.
I do know I love Lassie though, not the TV show, but the movies.
The Painted Hill.
Painted
Yes.
Hill, yeah, Lassie playing Shep in the Painted Hill.
It's great, and that
That's
one,
the best animal acting I've ever
think
seen.
of all
that was
times.
great. That
Benji
was great.
was pretty tight. Free Willy crushed it. There's a lot of killer animal actors, man.
The earlier mentioned you mentioned Canine and what's
Turner
the other?
Hooch.
Turner Hooch.
Let's not
Cujo.
Oh, Cujo. That's
There
a
you
good
go.
one. That's actually a legitimately good one.
Oh, and we've mentioned too Artax
Artax
in
is
the
Never-Ending Story.
Never-Ending Story is
Oh,
great.
yeah, that one is
that'll
really
bring tears to your eyes.
That
Yes.
cat in, what is it? The Cat from Outer Space? What is
the
it?
Disney film is
yeah.
The Cat from Outer Space.
Yeah.
Isn't there
Yeah,
a cat in
riveting.
Thomasina too or something? Or is
Or
that
Cat's Eye.
Yeah, what is it? The Three Lives of Thomasina or something
Yeah.
like that. Oh, and who could forget? We just talked about the scene-stealing cat in the beginning of The Godfather.
Oh, yeah.
That
Oh,
cat
yeah.
is so
Nobody's
cute.
looking at
And that
Brando's
horse
face.
head.
Nope.
And that horse head, dude.
The horse head.
The horse
Alright,
steals
so
the
it's like
scene.
amazing.
That was an actual
Same.
horse head too.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I think didn't we wonder
That horse
I think
gave
we
it
actually
all
wondered
for
that.
that.
No,
Same.
they got it from a dog food company.
Oh yeah, nice.
Okay, stop grinding now.
Yeah.
just turn the machine off and it gets down to the neck.
The bugs from Bugs Life.
Well,
Those
Oh.
are pretty fire.
Good. That's
Real-
amazing. Yeah. How did they even get them to do that?
The
Oh, what?
roaches from Creep Show.
They were fake. They're
Wow.
creeping up on you. Yeah.
The roaches
okay,
from-
The
that's a
rats
good
from
one.
Joe's
Indiana Jones and
apartment?
the Last Crusade.
The Noid
Ben?
from Domino's.
Yes, somebody you desperately want to avoid. All right. Well, I can see it was clearly
The
a
wolves
mistake
from
to
the
ask that
grave.
question. So let's
The wolves
move
from
on.
Frozen, not the Disney one.
Let's the wolves from the not Disney Frozen that ain't
Yeah.
those guys.
The
Tiger
wolves
from
from
the
White,
Brady
White
Bunch.
Fang.
Yes.
Fuck
yes,
the dog from Married with
Homeward
Children.
Bound, all three animals.
Garfield, Tale of Two Kitties.
Ren and Stimpy from the show Ren and Stimpy.
And Santa's Little Helper.
All right. So clearly, in the pantheon of animal actors, there was just a litany of
We
masterful.
love them all. We show no favorites.
All right, let's.
How come?
Okay, post-apocalyptic scenario. How accurate was it?
Who knows?
This movie takes place in 2024.
Right, it does.
Just
So
to
we got
remind
9
you.
years.
Very
to
good.
get
Come on,
there.
Very
Iran.
good, Very good.
Can't
Well,
wait it.
because this ties into something else that John had mentioned.
Yeah, we're down 2 world wars from this.
That maybe you want to tackle this with. Is the apocalypse actually impossible due to its relative unprofitability?
Right. See, and here's my point, which I
Yeah.
bring up a lot, is that I mean, every war, every major civilization that gets anything, there's you fight with somebody because you want something, and usually that's something you profit by, and there's really no profit in the destruction of civilization. I mean, what's the point? And if you're going to have someone who's going to get to that level of power, they're not going to want to burn the whole world down because why?
What if they had like a mine shaft?
Well, no, but then what are you going to come out to? Nothing.
But I
And
mean,
that-
you have somebody
and-
like Kim Jong-il who runs a country
No,
that
okay,
not even he cares
no,
about.
But that's what I'm
So
saying. You think
why
that,
wouldn't you
right?
just light shit
But
up?
Anything that that he does, right, is just saber rattling to impress his people in his own country. They've got no standing on the world stage, and he knows it,
It is.
right?
It's usually
But
just
you want your
because of
citizens in
sanctions.
North Korea to be scared of you and think you're hot shit. So you fill a missile casing with PS2 parts, and you shoot it up over the ocean by China, and you're like, oh, hey, whole world's scared of us. And they're like, oh yeah, we believe you, great leader. And I mean, you've got this. There's this level of shared like destruction.
Sorry,
where
any
it's
listeners
like
in North Korea.
in like
Yeah, well, yeah.
in-
Shout
just
out-
like in Doctor
shout out to
Strangelove,
them.
where
Jing Chao, Himu Mao.
the reason why the U.S. and Russia or the
Sorry,
USSR was developing so many nuclear weapons during the Cold War was not to use them, but so we wouldn't use them. Because once you cross that threshold where it's guaranteed mutual destruction of everything, nobody's going to push that button because why? The guy who has to push that button has family back home.
What if that guy's really sad one day?
We almost
but those kind of people
had a
aren't
situation
in
like
charge.
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know that.
Well, yeah, we got close a couple times.
The order came to fire the nukes.
Oh yeah, no. Well,
and the guy was
Order
like, "Wait a
66,
minute,
I
something's
believe.
wrong
yeah,
about this."
there was that one time the planes actually taxied out onto a runway, and they were going to start taking off with bombs, and the guy had to run out and stop them.
Yeah.
But
Did he,
I'm
did he
just-
have those things, those cones that like that he waved? Was he like?
He
Was he like
probably
no?
did, yeah.
Was he giving it the declined?
No, he was
And
just
the film.
flailing like,
But
"Oh!"
I'm saying,
Kermit the Frog.
even if something like that happened, right? Like you know how like in Doctor Strange, if they shoot down all the planes except for that one,
Yeah.
you know, with Slim Pickens.
Hey, little man, we're gonna. No,
That
that's
would
more
be-
Mr. Haney.
I mean, if there was no doomsday device, which there wasn't. I mean, even if something slipped through, you wouldn't have both sides pushing the button because it would be the end of everything. And
There
nobody
wasn't.
wants
There
that.
was a doomsday device in Doctor Strange though.
No, but not in real life.
Oh, okay.
Or
And
so
then-
you think, comrade.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think they'd publicize like, guess what, fellas? We finally finished the Doomsday Device.
Machine.
And then there's like a ticker tape parade
I'm
and
just
shit.
saying that-
Hashtag
Don't like
Spinning
Doomsday
newspaper
machine.
towards the camera.
I'm just saying that being afraid of the apocalypse, I think it's never actually. gonna
I would
happen.
be not afraid about two countries fighting, and I think Hunter S. Thompson wrote it best when he said that we're in a new era of warfare where we don't know our enemies. You have people like ISIS, Al Qaeda, Shining Path, the Bundys, the farmer Bundys. I don't
Yeah,
know.
y'all
Yeah, what are they doing?
Al Qaeda, Vanilla
Y'all
ISIS,
Qaeda.
if you will.
Yeah, Vanilla Ice.
Where these people can cause destruction, not with nuclear bombs, but with dirty bombs. The
Yeah.
dirty
But that's
bombs.
not going to create the apocalypse.
No, but it could contribute to it.
Well, okay, but
And
you
it
need a
can
lot of
create
dirty
little-
bombs
little
to bring
mini-
about the
but-
apocalypse.
little mini
But
local
here's
one,
my
Apocalypse
thing. I don't think
Juniors.
the
Apocalypse Wow.
come to Florida for Apocalypse Junior. I think the apocalypse will be brought on by a lack of resources. I think we're going to
Yeah.
be running out of water. I think we're going to be running out of oil. I think we're going to be running out of food.
So what you're saying is that the apocalypse is going to look less like it does in Avoid His Dog and more like it does in Soylent Green.
I think the apocalypse is going to look like more in the road.
Oh, okay.
We're going to be poisoning the earth,
Yeah.
basically, and it's not going to be
Gonna
done.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too late.
No, it's already too late. We're already there. I mean, look at the drought in California.
Oh, dude.
That's
Oil.
where
No,
we're
we're-
find another Earth, man.
Dude, serious. It's so
Yeah,
fucked.
And the
It's
Earth
like
is
the
a
fucking
self-correcting
Mars already.
Earth. Even if we're eradicated, we're still the Earth is still going to be here.
Well, but that's also kind of my point, though. That's why I don't have to worry about it because it's just
No, you don't have to
everything's
worry
gonna fix
about like
itself.
maybe in the '80s we were worried about Russia nuking us.
right.
Wait, so is your argument that I don't have to worry because the cosmos will continue?
No, what I'm saying is that like okay, like you know how like they have like bacteria now that like Chernobyl that can like feed on like radioactive like isotopes, like
Right.
you know, and humans will like okay, like we'll adapt too. I mean, obviously at some point something will get rid of the human race, but like we can adapt to like a lot of stuff, and like even if some of these big events happen, okay, like running out of water, you know, like well you can desalinate like ocean water, and we're not going to run out of oceans.
You can drink urine.
Well, that too. You can turn human wastewater into totally drinkable water.
They call it life water.
There might be a point where things get so bad where we're drinking our own filtered toilet water, but we'll still have water.
Or sparklets, I believe it's
That's
called.
yeah. No, it's called Dasani.
Oh, okay. Touche.
But
Touche.
I just think that yeah, that obviously, hey, things are getting shitty and they're going to get shittier. But I'm just saying, I think it's a long ways, if ever, before you're going to be trading tins of peaches to get to watch an old stag movie.
You think we're
Your
going to
second
Soylent
dog.
Green first?
I'm thinking more
Three
Soylent.
meals
Yeah,
from
I'm thinking way
disaster,
more
man.
Soylent Green than A Boy and His Dog.
telling you, dude, people miss 3 meals and it's disaster. That's
No,
all
really,
that's
that's
for.
it.
At
The
any
power's
point in
out. I
time.
think that's what some scientists say. Like if the power goes out, like once you hit like 24 hours, society's gonna break down
people
real
miss 3
fast.
meals, dude.
They're
that's it.
panicking.
Yeah, you miss 1 meal, it's like, oh, we got to get some food.
Yeah,
And then you
yeah.
miss another meal, and you're like,
You miss 3, you're killing
at
somebody.
the third one, seriously, like it's this whole. Yeah, there's
All right.
whatever. Anyway.
Survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
Let's start a raping.
Well, that's
That's what I'm saying. We should just. Oh wait, never mind.
That's why there's. I guess there's
Just
only.
pull a lot of cold Cosbys.
There's only.
Yeah.
There's only
Cold
nihilism.
Cosby's.
What is
There's
it?
only
Cold cut
nihilism. All we
Cosby?
can do is embrace the absurd.
Just live life, man.
Well, on that fucking dour note, was Jason Robards Underground secretly rad?
Well, I mean, I think Zeb already said that he wouldn't be down.
I wouldn't
but
be down.
But I'm saying, okay, think about it, right? Because there's some people out there who couldn't live without
Even
air
in light of
conditioning.
what was going on up top,
Would you trade your freedom for an opportunity to have at least?
what would you do?
Well, like yeah, I mean,
Harassing you?
to at least hang out where there's like ice cream socials and there was pie, and the people were getting married, and obviously there's a lot of weird rules.
Well,
or would you rather be up top?
I would rather be up top because it wouldn't be boring, and I would have free will, and I would have a choice.
But you have
and
a
you'd have
much
Free Willy on
less
VHS.
survivability, though. It's just,
But that makes it awesome.
Does it, though?
You could go around raping. You could go around stealing.
or you could be going around being the rapee.
Wild Wild West.
Well, let's go around for serious. What Kenzie would you?
There's that.
Which would you do?
As a female, I think I'd be more down with the underground.
No.
Down in the underground.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
I think even if I had like a dude to be with to protect me,
And he
like
had a dog.
it could still go so very wrong. He could just be killed.
Well,
And
he
then,
just-
like,
he could
what
just-
happens
he could
to
step
me?
like a
If he
pack of
had a
cigarettes.
bad attitude to the farm.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
That's the
to the
part
farm.
that I won't be under.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen. Like
I
I've
won't do
I've had a
anything wrong.
lot of bad attitudes at every job I've had. I've never once been fired. Well, once I have, but like as long as you don't show the council of elders
Yeah.
Have
your
you ever-
ass.
Have you ever
I
been
think it would
farmed?
be
Okay.
awesome if you
Show the
were on the
Council of
Council of Elders.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what she was trying to work her way up to. She just did it the wrong way.
She was
Bro.
trying to fuck her way up the wrong way.
I would probably be up top because I think I could run a really dope gang of wasteland people, and at the very least, I'd be like a high lieutenant. So I'd
you'd be a high
pretty set.
roller in that.
I'd be
in
pretty
that
rad.
You
game.
just got to get into like Lord Humongous's ranks
Yeah.
and just find your spot.
I think I'd be all right.
this
What
whole,
about what about you, Chris?
I don't know, man. I guess it would just depend. It's hard to say. I could see either.
Well,
I could see either scenario. Like if
'cause
I
one
was
is safer,
if I was
obviously.
used to being up top, then I'd probably want to be up top. But if I was born into that shit underneath, I don't know that there's a lot of incentive to leave.
Well, it's I mean it's a trade off because you're definitely safer as long as you don't rock the boat and you do what they want you to. You're safer in the underground than you are up top.
Yeah,
But on the
and if you're
up
used to
top,
that-
you've got your autonomy, but survival is going to be more difficult.
I'm thinking best way is like boom, like double life. Like you weekend in like
Oh,
They're
the
not going to
outer
let you
world.
do that
Yeah,
downstairs.
if you know what you're doing, you could probably find a way
Get
to
the
sneak
fuck out! No way, man.
could,
They're
like,
gonna
farm.
that fucking Steve
Farm.
robot
Farm.
is gonna fucking hand you your ass.
There's
farm.
always
Yeah,
people
farm.
who are breaking the
Farm
rules
immediately.
farm.
And that was cool. We never found out what exactly the farm was.
That's yeah.
I think they just kill you.
I
I would
think
think they
it's-
make you into food.
I think
They
it's
explain it,
right.
like,
I think it's like
vaguely,
I think
right?
it's like
So
right. I think it's on the same street as the cornfield from the Twilight Zone.
yeah.
It's a good life. I
Hop,
think
skip,
those. I
and
think
jump
those are
away.
like right in the
you
same.
just walk out and kind of.
Say it's kind of like when they open the
fade
door
away.
in Beetlejuice and they
So
go
that's
outside.
what all the barbecue was.
Yeah, that's what people.
Holy
Yeah,
God.
Yes. Oh,
barbecues people.
Yeah, it was.
It's just basically like living on Main Street, USA at Disneyland.
Okay.
But
Right
you wouldn't
down
want to
to it.
live there like 24 hours. You want to go to like Adventureland or
Well, that's
Norland Square.
That's why I guess you sneak out.
Vegas?
It's like Adventureland. You know, it's
Everything else is Adventureland.
how are we doing on time?
we got like 5 minutes.
Oh, that's it. Holy shit. Okay. Well. Okay.
6 minutes.
Let's go
Oh,
into
we're
some.
good.
Let's go into some lightning round shit. Jason Robards twice in 3 weeks. Who is more macho?
He's Mas Macho. Nobody's Mas Macho as him.
I don't understand.
Who's more macho than Jason Robards?
Martin Balsam?
Well, okay.
Chris
All
Canyon?
right.
My dad.
No. You maybe. You have to bring him next week. I guess I have to reuse that. All right. Well, I guess the most before we turn to Zeb to give us some interesting tidbits about Harlan
It's
Ellison.
not that interesting.
I guess the most important question I need to ask of the group here is: doth the screamer not scream?
Yeah, well, they certainly did.
He did imitate one,
Okay,
and it was freaky.
and it did scream. It did.
But
Scream.
it had like a.
I picture them as looking like that glowing ghost from Scooby Doo.
I pictured them as
Yeah.
Mr. Burns. I bring you
Yeah, the Star Child
They
or
just
whatever.
wanted
it
to
was.
bring you peace.
Love between a man and his Cuban seagull.
And I imagine nobody shat upon the edge of their seat either. All right, Zeb. Well, before we wrap things up
I
here,
was kind of shitting upon the edge of my seat.
I thought it was
shit on the edge
creepy
of my
as
sheet.
fuck.
Yeah.
with the screamers.
The
yeah.
screamers made me shit on the edge of my sheet a little bit right there.
well, hey, there you go. So actually, wouldn't it then be your own imagination? Really?
Well, no.
Nothing makes you shit more than your own imagination.
Yeah,
No,
I think really.
Yeah.
I-
I'm
Truly.
shitting right now.
I mean, it's communication.
Excellent.
You know? It's
Brief relief. Okay, all right. So let's
I guess it's
Harlan
fine, sure.
Ellison, a venerated author, a man who's held in many different regards by many different people. One of us here has actually spoken to Harlan
and
Ellison.
have lived to tell the tale.
Yes. So Zeb, tell us what you can about Harlan Ellison.
The most intimidating man you'll ever meet.
Now, is that because you were a fan of his work? And
Well, one, I was a fan of his work, and secondly, I've heard stories about how he just doesn't give a fuck.
Sounds right.
Yeah, see, that's certainly the persona that came through on Sci-Fi Channel.
Well, the thing is, like, he mailed a dead gopher to publishing houses that rejected his work.
Wow.
nice.
He kept writing letters to his English professor that said, he wouldn't ever be published, and kept sending like his published work to his English professors. This is a guy that broke the pelvis of an ABC executive.
For what?
Well, he was gonna fight him, and then he slipped, and then he bumped into him, and the guy, fell over his table and broke his pelvis.
Sounds likely.
How did the meeting come about? How and where did you meet Harlan Ellison?
It was at his house, which is a Mayan temple.
Oh, wow.
It was for a radio station, and I was a sound guy. And this is when they were doing something with the Terminator.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the producers was like, well, let's go interview Harlan Ellison. He's just, up in L.A. We could go to his house. I know a guy that knows him. We're in. And I'm like, I don't want to go meet Harlan Ellison. I don't.
He's gonna be mean to me.
Yeah. Well, one is like, never meet your heroes.
Sure.
Ever.
yeah.
Never, ever meet your heroes.
Yeah.
So throughout the interview, he's like, fuck those guys. Fuck Warner Brothers. They fucking screwed me on the Star Trek. God damn it.
wow.
These fucking kids don't know anything what they're fucking doing. God damn it. Fuck James Cameron. Fuck you guys. Pay me. And then it's like, okay. And then I was like shaking him like, he's like, so that was pretty good. Yeah. All right. I'm going to do that.
Okay,
Turn it right off.
So for the record, then he was cantankerous.
He was cantankerous.
On
but
purpose, though.
there's a soft side to him.
Oh.
And the problem is that everybody sees the cantankerous side, and a lot of people are afraid of him, and most of his works are going out of print. You can buy some of his works on Amazon, but they often go out of print, and so you got to wait for another publisher to pick it up. But he's very litigious. He sued James Cameron when the Terminator came out.
Yeah,
saying
do you want to tell the Terminator story?
it was based off, he said, according to Harlan Ellison, it was based off an episode of The Outer Limits he wrote called The Demon with the Glass Hand,
right.
which is about time travel and a story similar to Terminator, but it was completely different. Harlan Ellison sued James Cameron, and the courts agreed with Harlan Ellison that now he gets a percentage of the royalties from the Terminator,
Wow.
as well as his name tacked on to the Terminator films.
Wow.
Maybe all the Native American tribes should get together and sue James Cameron for Avatar because he stole that from their story.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Based on them.
But besides his personality, his stories are fucking amazing. And this is a guy who takes writing to a whole new level.
Yeah.
He used to go to bookstores and said, all right, type a one-sentence thing, and I'll write a story based on that sentence. Wow. So one of the things that he wrote a story was, the first sentence was, the 90-year-old pregnant corpse started breathing. And then he just wrote a whole story based on that.
Wow.
And he'll post the pages in the windows of the bookstore so you could read the story as it's being created.
Right.
And the man is completely amazing. More people should read his work. His work is phenomenal. some of the most original stories I've ever read.
Well, even the Star Trek episode that he's credited with writing, "The City on the Edge of Forever," is pretty much hailed
and
by
they
everybody as,
screwed
like,
him
the best
over.
one.
They screwed him over on that one.
That's what I've
He's
heard.
like, I said that Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock came upon an area with runes, not ruins, and they built a fucking set of ruins. I said runes.
Jesus.
Like, he was like very angry about that.
Right.
It was like, fuck Gene Roddenberry. I'm never writing a fucking Star Trek episode again.
Well, I'm glad somebody else didn't.
Well, I
listen
know
to
he
the
thought it was
Gene Roddenberry
mishandled because they IDW released a comic book series,
which I was
where
really keen to read. It went off his script.
It went off his original script because, and like a lot of authors, he feels like his script was maligned and not handled properly, and he wanted to get, much like Stephen King of The Shining, he wanted to get his side of it out, his version.
But pick up any Harlan Ellison. You could find his early books regarding his childhood, Memos from Purgatory, and I believe it's called The Deadly Streets, are great non-science fiction. Hard Candy is a great volume that's still in print, as well as his book of commentary called Harlan Ellison's Watching. His Star Wars rant is amazing and beautiful.
Awesome.
I did read a little bit on his website, and he definitely turns a quality phrase.
Oh yeah.
Like, you can definitely tell that he's like a storyteller because just the way he puts stuff down, he really draws you in. Like, I feel just from the little bit that I've read, it seemed like he could write down a story of him going to the dry cleaners, and you would be like fascinated.
And genius is too infrequently recognized in its time. So
another great thing they released of his that I have read, he wrote an episode for the 1960s Batman TV show that was going to introduce Two-Face as a villain.
Right.
But his script was so grandiose, it would have been blown the whole budget for the series. So they ended up not doing it. But DC Comics released...
Really?
They released in a comic book
It's
format.
not the one where they turn Two-Face into a TV reporter.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well,
I forget what happens exactly, but yeah, it introduces Two-Face, and it's really cool. So DC Comics a couple years put it out.
Nice.
there you go.
It's got a really great cover by Alex Ross.
Really quick, I'm just quickly looking up where Boy and His Dog came from, and apparently there's the novella and then 2 or 3 more stories with Vic and blood. So I think that's what I'm going to be doing pretty soon.
Wow. So that's the sequel. And if anything's worth the shit, maybe Toothless Richard will fucking
Yeah.
Just
put
make sure you
something
clear
together.
up Harlan
Yeah,
Ellison
of
because he will
course.
take you to the cleaners.
Of course.
We'll just call it a Roy and his bog.
Yeah, there we go.
We need a Cinemarijuana book club to get going.
I'll
We can all
just-
read Harlan
you know
Ellison
what?
books.
Doggo and his doggo.
I'll show him Eye on the Prize, and he'll be like, dude, he's like,
You're a fucking genius.
you can make all of my stuff. So yeah, get out there and read some Harlan Ellison and see A Boy and His Dog.
Yeah.
All right, well, that'll do it for this jam-packed edition.
Yeah. Make sure to follow us on SoundCloud,
Yes.
like us on YouTube,
Yes.
follow us everywhere. Go to our Facebook, Twitter, and emails coming soon,
Website
and
coming
a website coming soon.
Thank you once again
Listen to our other podcasts.
to management at the Edwards Cinema in Mira Mesa,
Classic.
California.
Edwards Mira Mesa.
Yes.
Where dreams come true.
Yes.
Please sponsor us.
Yes, class act all the way. Thank you for that. We'll be back next week.
to talk about the next buddy
Whatever
movie.
the fuck we watch tonight. Who knows what it's
Dude.
going to be? Because I know
You
Condi.
know who knows? The Shadow.
The
knows.
Shadow?
Oh yeah, he knows.
Whoa.
Well, fucking tweet his ass.
I'll tweet him. I'll see what's up.
All right, we'll be back next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Outro.
Back next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Outro.
Back next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Outro.